Hi everyone, my name is Karen, this is my channel RatherBeReading, and today I'm bringing to you my May book haul. So, May was supposed to be the last month of my book buying restriction before I let myself go a little bit more crazy in June, because June's my birthday month, but it didn't really work out like that. So let's jump straight in, talk about all of the books that I managed to acquire this month. We will, as always, start off with the library books. I'm actually really happy with myself. I only acquired 4 books from the library in the month of May, which is really, really good for me. If you just saw my June TBR, which should have been, I think, the video that went up before this one, then you will have seen that I have so many library books to get through in the month of June, so having only got a few, that's definitely a better position for me to be in. So the very first book that I picked up from the library in the month of June was Giant Days Volume 6 by a whole slew of people. I'm not going to go through them all. This is a graphic novel series that I've been really, really enjoying. Really happy to have my hands on this next volume because I really love this series and I'm really looking forward to continuing it. Next we have Love Bites, Tips for Dating Guys with Fangs by Claire Hooper. This is a bit of a strange one. This is one of the books that I need to read to complete one of my goals for 2018, which is to read the first 10 books that are on my really, really old, physically written out to read list. Claire Hooper is an Australian comedian, and I presume that's why I originally heard about this and put it on the list of something that I would like to read. I don't actually know what this is. I can't figure out if this is like a self-help, non-fiction book, that's just joking about the fangs and it's just a dating book, or if it's a comedic book, or if it's fiction. I don't really know what this is, but it was on the list, so it's pretty short, it's pretty small, so hopefully I can get through it pretty quickly and maybe it'll be good, but I don't have high hopes. Next from the library, I have Saga Volume 8 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. This is the most recent volume, I believe, of this that's come out. I've read all the other volumes. Really looking forward to continuing on with this because this is a graphic novel series that I really, really enjoy. And the final book that I picked up from the library in the month of May is Gods in Alabama by Jocelyn Jackson. This is a book that I picked up because I read The Almost Sisters by Jocelyn Jackson earlier in the year, and I really loved that book, and so this is an author that I immediately identified as an author that I would love to read more of their backlist works. So this is the first book she ever published. The premise of this sounds pretty interesting. It says, when Arlene Fleet heads up north for college, she makes 3 promises to God. She will stop fornicating with every boy who crosses her path, never tell another lie, and never ever go back to the 4th rack of hell, her hometown of Posset, Alabama. All she wants from him is one little miracle. Make sure the body is never found. There's a whole slew more in the synopsis, but I don't need to know anything more than that. It just sounds pretty interesting, and like I said, I really, really loved Jocelyn Jackson's other book that I read, so I'm hoping that this one is going to be just as good. So now moving on to the physical books that I purchased in the month of May, of which there are more here than there should be, but we'll kind of get into it as we go through. So first off, we have the 3 books from my monthly book depository order that I purchase every month. The first one is Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. If you know me, you know that Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda is one of my favorite books. I really, really love that. And I said in a recent video that Leah is a character in that book that I personally really, really related to. I saw a lot of myself in her. I've actually heard very mixed things about this so far, so I'm a little bit nervous. I don't think I'll be getting to it for quite a while because of how my TBR works, but I am very much looking forward to this, and I'm hoping that I'm personally going to really, really love it. The next book from that order I picked up is A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. So you guys have already seen this book. I already read it. This is the novella that follows the A Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy and is like a bridge kind of book, from what I understand, between that trilogy and the next trilogy that she's going to be posting. It also does have a little sneak peek of the first book in that next trilogy, so that was exciting to read as well, so that I got to see kind of what the next book, who it's following. So yes, I have already read this. And then the final book from that order is another book that I've already read, and that is The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. This is a book that I read quite a while ago by Wilkie Collins that I really, really did enjoy, and I realized recently that I never picked up a copy of this, and I do have a copy of his other book, The Woman in White, which is my favorite one of his, but I did also want to have a copy of this one because I really, really liked it, so I picked up one of these nice... God, the sun is playing havoc with my videos today, but yeah, I did pick up this edition of it, which is really, really nice. So next we have a book that I knew was going to be like an extra book that I was purchasing in May, like I always planned to pick this up. And this is Warstorm by Victoria Aveyard. This is the 4th and final book in the Red Queen series. And I wanted to purchase this in store in Australia because I'd purchased the others in store and I wanted to make sure that I got like the tall, really tall like paperback that was going to match my other editions. And so I did pick this up and I will be reading this pretty soon. Again, you would have already seen this on my channel because it was in my June TBR. I'm hoping to pick this up very, very soon to finish off this trilogy. So next we have 5 books. My library has a set of shelves near where you exit the library that have like books that you can purchase, like secondhand library books that you can purchase for $1. I rarely even look at the shelves because there's rarely anything even slightly decent on it. But one of the times I went to the library during May, I was walking in and I could see the shelves from where the entrance is. And I thought, wow, the shelves look like they're really full and like I've got a lot on them. And so on the way out, I decided to peruse the shelves and I did end up buying 5 books. They actually had quite a few pretty decent books on there. There was a couple like that I didn't buy because they're books that I actually already own and already have on my TBR. So I was pretty impressed. But anyway, so I did end up, like I said, buying 5. The first one that I picked up is Forgive Me, Leonard Peacock by Matthew Quick. This is a book about a boy who I believe is planning to murder himself and then murder his best friend and then maybe kill himself or just murder his best friend. I'm not really sure, but I've heard pretty good things about this. I have read Silver Linings Playbook by Matthew Quick, which is a movie that I love, but I didn't love the book. So I'm interested to see whether or not I'm going to enjoy this or not. I should say all of these do have like the library kind of like stuff on the spine and stuff, but they were $1, so I don't really care. Next, I picked up Trouble by Non Pratt. This one is, I believe, about a girl who gets pregnant and then a new boy at her school offers to be like the fake dad of her baby. That's all I really know about it. I'm generally kind of interested in teenage pregnancy. I don't know why, but I love like shows like 16 and Pregnant and Teen Mum and all of that type of thing. So I am interested in this. Next, I picked up The Distance Between Us by Cassie West. I say Cassie because that's how it's spelled, but most people seem to pronounce this Casey, so I'm not sure if that's how the author pronounces it or if that's just like an American pronunciation because we do pronounce names differently in Australia and America sometimes. Anyway, Cassie West, okay, now I'm just going to say Cassie West because that's where I always hear it, so that's probably what's going to be in my head. Cassie West is a author who writes a lot of YA contemporary. She's a very popular YA contemporary author. I've never read anything by her, but I saw this there and it was only $1. I don't even know which one of hers this is or like what it's about, but I've never read anything of hers and she's pretty popular, so for $1 I just figured I'd grab it. Next, we have a book that I don't really know too much about. I've never really heard of it. It's Follow Me Down by Tanya Byrne, but again, it was $1. This one appears to be about a girl who goes to Crofton College, a dull English boarding school, one of my buzzwords, and it's about a girl who becomes immediately like inseparable with a girl, so friendship themes, I love friendship themes, and then things get a bit tense between them when they both fall for the same guy, but then I think the other girl goes missing. So, I don't know. It has quite a few of my buzzwords in here, so again, it was $1, so I picked it up. And the final book I picked up from those like secondhand library books is Dead Jealous by Sharon Jones. And again, this is one I don't know anything about, but I literally just grabbed it because it was called Dead Jealous and it said on the front, jealousy can be murder. And so all of the books are $1 and you just put the money in like this little box they have on the wall. You don't even go up and pay or anything. And I only had a $5 note. So I was like, I'm just going to grab a 5th book. So I picked this up even though I don't know anything about it. I then realized this is actually the first book in a series. I don't know how many. I should have realized because it's got on the back like a Poppy Sinclair thriller. But I didn't even look at the back. I don't even know what this is about. I presume some kind of YA mystery thriller type thing, which I'm very into. So I'll probably read this, and then if I like it, I might get the other book from the library, or if I really love it, I might purchase the 2nd book, but I don't really know anything about it, except that I bought it because it was $1. Next, I have 2 more books from Book Depository. So I got sent, every now and again, I've had 2 email addresses that I've used for Book Depository, and there's one that I use basically exclusively to actually order from. But every now and again, I get sent 10% off codes to the other email because they're like, we haven't seen you in a while. Here's a 10% off code. And then I use it because why wouldn't I? But I wasn't due. It was going to expire before my next order was due to be placed. And so I messaged my friend Emma and I said, oh, I'd be stupid not to use it, right? And she was like, yeah, of course you have to use it. So really, this is Emma's fault. Hi, Emma. So I purchased 2 books. I purchased The Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo. This is another book that you guys have already seen on my channel because I read this last month, because I read the Six of Crows duology last month. Really, really loved this. This is a collection of novellas that are set in the Grisha world, but it's more like fairy tales and folklore type of stories that the Grisha people would have heard growing up. Like I said, I really, really loved this. I definitely recommend picking it up if you haven't and you've read other books in the Grisha world. Very, very enjoyable. And the other one that I placed in that order is Restore Me by Tahera Mofi. Again, I just bought this because I've read the Shatter Me trilogy, which I did enjoy, and this is the first book in what I think is a new trilogy following the same characters. I don't know that I don't think I'll read this until the other books have been published. Like, I don't think this is one I'm going to pick up because it's a continuation, because I just have to wait. And I don't really like reading series as they're being published because I hate having to wait a year because I end up just rereading it because I don't remember what's happened. So I won't be reading this anytime soon, but I did pick up a copy because I wanted it and I enjoyed the Shatter Me trilogy. And then I have one final book to show you guys, which is Alpha by Rachel Vincent. So this is actually book 6 in the Shifters series. I own the first 4. And I've had the 5th book, which the name of which is escaping me, but I've had that one on my book depository wish list for forever, and it's been out of stock, like, for forever. I presume that maybe these aren't being published anymore, and so, like, I've had it on there for like a year and it's never come into stock on book depository. So I decided to order the 5th and 6th books off Thrift Books. I've never purchased anything off Thrift Books before. While the books are pretty cheap, it's secondhand books off Thrift Books, and while they're generally pretty cheap, the shipping to Australia is like $5 per book. And so the price of that on top of the price of the book generally makes me go, for another $1 or $2, I could just get it brand new. So I don't generally shop there, but I couldn't get these on book depository, and so I decided these are mass market, but I'm pretty sure, I think book 1 I've got is a normal paperback, but I think the rest of the ones I have are all mass market, so I don't really care. But at least I've got the whole series. So I've only got Alpha here to show you guys because for some reason the other one, they come from different sellers. So the other one hasn't turned up yet. So that'll probably be in my June book haul. But this is the last book that I purchased in, or arrived at least, in the month of June. In the month of May, it's May book haul. We're in June, but it's the May book haul. It's the last book that arrived in May. So then finally, we will just talk about the 4 ebooks that I purchased in the month of May. So I don't think I've ever said this, but how I kind of work with my Kindle purchasing is if I see a book that I've never really heard about, but I'm just generally kind of a bit interested in it, I'll only generally purchase it if it's free. However, if I see books listed that are $1 or $2 or like $3, I don't generally spend more than about $3, but are books that I've previously been interested in that I've marked as to read, then I'll spend like about up to $3 on those. So yeah, I just thought it might be interesting for you guys to know. That's how I decide what I'm going to purchase and not purchase. So the first one that I picked up is Duplicity by Sybil Hodge. This is one that I purchased because I have marked it as to read, and I think it was $2. This one is an adult thriller. It follows a set of newlyweds where the husband is killed and the wife escapes. And then I presume it's about trying to figure out who the attacker is. I'm not sure if the wife is a suspect or if it's known that she's not involved. I don't really know, but I think this is one that I originally heard about on Lisa's channel, and that she had really, really liked. So again, I just wanted to read it and it was $2, so I bought it. Next I have Hunt by Rachel Vincent. So as I said, I purchased books 5 and 6 in physical copy, but I saw that there were a couple of novellas, and so I just had a quick look at this one on Amazon and it was free, so I purchased it. It's book 6.5 in the series, so I think it's set after the series finishes. I don't really know anything about it, except it was free, so I figured why not. The next book that I purchased is Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough. This is a very popular thriller around, and again, it's one that I've marked as to read quite a while ago, I think. And it was only $2, and I think it might be, check it out to see if you're interested in buying ebooks and you're interested in this book. Look at this one, because when I clicked on it, normally it has like a price, and then like when they're on sale, it's got the normal price and then with a line through it, and then like the sale price. This one didn't have a price with a line through it, so I'm not sure if it's always $2. Anyway, this one is a thriller that is about a woman who was out at a bar or something, and she ends up having this one night stand with this man. She then goes to work on the following Monday to a new job and discovers that the man she had the one night stand with is her boss. Not only that, but her boss is married. So, and then I think she forms a friendship with the boss's wife, and that's all I really know about it. People generally have pretty positive things to say about this ebook, so I grabbed it. The last ebook that I purchased that was on sale is Tips for Living by Renee Shafransky. This is another one that I purchased because I'd previously marked it as to read. It's another adult thriller. Is anyone surprised? Probably not. This one is about a woman who was married to a man, and then I think he cheated on her, and it's a couple of years later, and she has moved away to like a small town when her husband and his newly pregnant wife, his pregnant new wife, move in very close to where she's living, and then they are found shot to death in their home. And I think maybe she can't remember the night that had happened either, so she's clearly going to be a suspect. And yeah, I can't remember. Again, I think this maybe is one that I heard about on Lisa's channel, but yeah, it's one that I've marked as to read, and so it was really, I think again it was $1. I think this one was $1, so I purchased it. So those are all of the books that I purchased in the month of May. I would love to chat with you guys in the comments down below if you've read any of these books, if you have any thoughts. I definitely didn't stick to my like kind of book buying restriction. I didn't go too crazy, but I definitely got more than I meant to. But you know, things happen. June is definitely probably going to be a big book haul because it's my birthday in June, but we'll see what happens in June. So yes, I would love to chat with you guys in the comments down below if you've read any of these books or what books you've been purchasing. Were you on any kind of book buying restriction or ban? How did you guys go? I would love to know. Please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to see more from my channel. But that is all I have for this video today. Bye guys!